John Marrow floated gracefully beside the Mars orbiter, tools in hand, focused on his repair task. His colleague and friend, Alex Reed, monitored from inside the spacecraft, providing guidance through their comms. John, make sure you tighten that panel. We don't want to repeat last month's mishap. Alex's voice crackled in John's ear. John chuckled, maneuvering his tools with practiced ease. Relax, Alex. It's not my first spacewalk. Almost done here. As John secured the satellite panel, a glint of light caught his eye. He turned, squinting against the bright Martian backdrop. Alex, do you see that? Alex peered out the spacecraft window. I don't have anything on radar. What is it? There's some kind of craft. It's not ours. John's voice tensed as the object approached, its sleek, silver design unlike any Earth-made vessel. Stay calm, John. I'm alerting command, Alex replied, his tone now serious. Before they could react further, a beam of light emitted from the alien craft enveloped John, pulling him toward it. Alex watched helplessly as his friend disappeared into the unknown vessel. Inside the alien ship, John felt the gravity shift, stabilizing him on his feet. He unclipped his helmet, taking cautious breaths. The air was breathable. The environment inside the ship was stark, illuminated by soft, ambient light. Before him stood several figures, humanoid but distinctly different, with translucent skin and elongated limbs. A female stepped forward, her gaze intense yet not threatening. Welcome, John Marrow. I am Zyla, a scientist of Zytheria. We mean you no harm. John, still in shock but composed, responded, Where am I? Why have you brought me here? Zyla tilted her head, a gesture of curiosity. We observed you and your kind from afar. Your biological structure is unique to us, and as a scientist I am tasked with understanding the diverse life forms across the cosmos. Alex's voice suddenly burst through John's comm device, still operational. John, are you okay? What's happening? John touched his earpiece, replying, Alex, I'm all right. I'm on their ship. They seem peaceful, but keep command on alert. Zyla glanced at the device with interest. You communicate remotely. Fascinating. We use neural integration for instant connection. John, trying to keep the situation diplomatic, addressed Zyla again. I appreciate your interest in human biology, but I am not a specimen. I am an astronaut, and I have a mission. Zyla nodded, her expression one of understanding. Of course, John Marrow. Your autonomy is respected. We seek only knowledge, not conflict. You are free to communicate with your companion. Perhaps you could help us learn, and in exchange, we can share our own advancements. John weighed his options, realizing the potential in this unexpected encounter. All right, Zyla, I'll cooperate, but I want assurances of my safety and a promise of return to my ship. Zyla extended her hand, a universal gesture of agreement. Agreed, John Marrow. Let us explore this opportunity for mutual understanding. John reached out, shaking her hand. A pact formed not just between two individuals, but as a tentative first bridge between distant worlds. John and Zyla stood in a compartment filled with various scientific instruments, each more bizarre and sophisticated than the last. The walls pulsed lightly with a bioluminescent glow, casting an ethereal light over everything. Zyla, this technology, it's incredible. Is all of Zytherian technology this advanced? John asked, his eyes wide as he examined a device that seemed to levitate by itself. Yes, John. Our civilization has evolved around the integration of technology and biology. It allows us to understand and interact with the universe in ways you might find unconventional, Zyla explained, handing him what looked like a thin, transparent tablet that displayed a myriad of alien symbols when touched. As John fiddled with the device, trying to make sense of the alien interface, Zyla continued. Our interest in human biology stems from our study of cosmic diversity. Your species' emotional and physical diversity is particularly unique. Alex's voice buzzed through the comm device, curious and a bit wary. John, everything good there? Should we start thinking about a diplomatic protocol? John glanced at the device. Alex, it's more than good. It's an opportunity. They're way ahead of us technologically. We could learn a lot from them. Turning back to Zyla, he said, Zyla, I understand your scientific interest, but what exactly do you want to learn from us? From me? Zyla approached a console and gestured for John to follow. Human physiology is fascinating, particularly your species' capacity for rapid physical adaptation and emotional responses. We lack such variability. She pulled up a holographic display of a human body, showing various biological systems. For instance, your cardiovascular and nervous systems show remarkable resilience under stress. How do you manage emotional stress? John thought for a moment before answering. Well, it varies from person to person, but often through social interaction, physical activity, or even solitude. Emotions can be powerful motivators. Fascinating, Zyla murmured, her fingers dancing over the hologram, adjusting parameters. In Zytheria, we have minimized emotional extremities for a more harmonious existence. Your methods might seem primitive, but they are intriguingly effective. John watched her work, impressed by her quick grasp of human concepts. There's a lot we could exchange, Zyla, not just knowledge, but perspectives. Yes, the potential for cultural exchange is immense, Zyla agreed, her eyes reflecting a genuine excitement. Would you be willing to participate in some non-invasive scans and tests? I believe your insights could greatly benefit our understanding. Considering the request, John nodded. As long as it's non-invasive, and I'm kept informed at all steps. We have protocols for these kinds of interactions. Of course, Zyla assured him, her tone appreciative. Your cooperation is invaluable, John. Let's begin with a basic neuroscan to compare our neurological structures. As John sat down at the scanning station, Alex chimed in again through the comm. Make sure they know this goes both ways, John. We're not just subjects. We're partners in this. Understood, Alex. I'll keep it reciprocal, John replied, settling into the machine as Zyla began her examination. The session was long and filled with constant dialogue between them. Each question from Zyla met with thoughtful answers from John, and every explanation from her met with keen interest. This exchange, though rooted in scientific curiosity, was quickly laying the groundwork for a deeper, more comprehensive interstellar relationship. John adjusted to the rhythm of life aboard the Zytherian vessel, his daily interactions with Zyla becoming a blend of scientific exchange and cultural exploration. Their sessions, initially clinical and filled with scans and data collection, gradually evolved into more philosophical discussions about their respective societies and values. Today, they sat in what Zyla referred to as the Harmony Room, a space designed for relaxation and mental rejuvenation, surrounded by plants that resembled terrestrial ferns but glowed with a soft, pulsing light. Zyla, you mentioned that Zytherians have minimized emotional extremities. How do you handle personal conflicts or disagreements without those emotions? John asked, genuinely curious about the social dynamics of her people. Zyla, sitting across from him in a floating chair that gently swayed, replied, Our society uses consensus algorithms for decision-making, integrating individual inputs through a neural network that helps us reach a conclusion that benefits all. Conflicts are rare because our desires are synchronized for the greater good. John nodded, intrigued. It sounds efficient, but a bit impersonal. On Earth, our emotions can be messy, but they also make us who we are. They drive our art, literature, and personal relationships. Zyla tilted her head, her expression thoughtful. Art and literature? Could you explain more about these concepts? John smiled, realizing the opportunity to share something profoundly human. Art and literature are expressions of our inner selves. They help us explore and convey our feelings, tell stories, and connect with others on an emotional level. Intrigued by this, Zyla suggested, Would you share some examples of your art and literature with me? I am eager to understand how these expressions shape your interactions and your society. Absolutely, John agreed. He contacted Alex via his comm device. Alex, could you send over some files on Earth's art and literature, maybe some classics and contemporary examples? Sure thing, John. I'll put together a selection and send it your way, Alex responded, his tone reflecting his appreciation for the cultural bridge being built. As they waited, Zyla continued the exchange by showing John some Zytherian achievements, including their advancements in environmental control and space travel technologies, explaining how these were achieved through a unified societal effort. When the files from Earth arrived, John projected images of famous artworks and played recordings of various music genres, from classical to modern pop. Zyla listened intently, her eyes widening at the diversity. This vibrancy of expression is astonishing, she admitted after a while. Each piece evokes different sensations. Is this what you mean by emotional power? Yes, exactly, John replied, pleased with her reaction. It's about moving people, making them feel something profound or even just entertained. Zyla seemed contemplative. We have technology that integrates sensory experiences directly into our neural pathways for education or recreation. Yet, we do not create. It is all generated for efficiency. John suggested, maybe there's room for Zytherians to explore these more spontaneous, creative aspects, It could offer new dimensions to your society. Zyla nodded, her demeanor showing a mix of fascination and a slight uncertainty. That could be a significant shift for us. Your human perspectives are very enlightening, John. Their cultural exchange deepened over the following days, each session helping to bridge the vast differences between their worlds. John learned about the structured harmony of Zytherian life, while Zyla discovered the chaotic beauty of human creativity, setting the stage for a richer, more comprehensive interstellar dialogue. While John and Zyla continued their cultural exchange aboard the Zytherian vessel, news of John's unplanned departure from his mission reached Earth, causing a stir among the global community and military leadership. Concerns over John's safety and the intentions of the Zytherians prompted a swift and decisive response. Back on Earth, General Avery, overseeing space operations, convened an urgent meeting. "We need to ensure Captain Marrow's safety. Prepare the rescue team. We're not sure if this is a kidnapping or something else, but we must be ready for any scenario." Meanwhile, aboard the Zytherian ship, John's regular communications with Alex were interrupted by a sudden alert. The vessel's sensors detected an approaching spacecraft from Earth. "Zyla, it seems my people are coming for me. They might not understand our interactions here. We need to clarify things before this escalates," John said, his tone marked by urgency. Zyla, understanding the gravity of the situation, replied, "I will inform our council. It is crucial that they understand our peaceful intentions." As Zyla left to consult with her leaders, John contacted Alex. "Alex, what's the status? I hear a rescue mission is underway." Alex responded, his voice tense. "That's affirmative, John. Command is taking no chances. They're preparing for a possible extraction, but they're willing to negotiate if the Zytherians are indeed peaceful." John sighed. "Keep them informed, Alex. I'm safe, and we're making significant progress in mutual understanding. Tell them to stand down until we sort things out." Back on Earth, General Avery received the update with skepticism. "Keep the rescue mission on standby. If talks fail, we're going in." On the Zytherian vessel, Zyla returned with news. "Our council agrees to meet with your leaders to discuss peaceful relations. They are preparing a communication to send to your approaching ship." Together, John and Zyla crafted a message outlining the nature of their exchanges and the benefits of a peaceful interaction between humans and Zytherians. This message was transmitted just as the Earth's spacecraft entered communication range. Aboard the Earth vessel, the captain reviewed the message. "We've received a communication from the Zytherians. They claim to be in a peaceful exchange with Captain Marrow and invite us to discuss terms of understanding and cooperation." General Avery, now in direct contact, remained cautious. "We will approach with our defenses ready, but open to dialogue. Let's not escalate unless necessary." As the two ships stood in space, a tense peace held. Both crews prepared for possible outcomes, hopeful for a resolution, but ready for conflict. Zyla turned to John, her expression a mix of concern and hope. "John, it seems we are at a crossroads. Your people's response will dictate our future relations." John nodded, aware of the stakes. "Let's hope they see the value in what we're building here. This could be the beginning of something much greater than either of our species anticipated." Tensions escalated as the Earth rescue ship positioned itself near the Zytherian vessel. Aboard the human ship, General Avery and his team were in a state of high alert, ready to deploy at a moment's notice. On the Zytherian ship, John and Zyla waited anxiously, hoping that the exchange of dialogues would lead to peace and not conflict. John broke the tense silence, addressing the Zytherian Council via their advanced communication system. "We need to demonstrate our sincerity and the potential for mutual benefit. I propose that I speak directly to General Avery. Perhaps hearing it straight from me will help de-escalate the situation." Zyla nodded in agreement. "I will arrange for that, John. Our technologies allow for clear, uninterrupted communication. It will be as if you are there with them." Moments later, John's image was projected aboard the Earth vessel, appearing before General Avery and his crew. "General, this is John Marrow. I want to assure you that I am here of my own free will. The Zytherians have treated me with nothing but respect, and we've begun a cultural and scientific exchange that promises to benefit humanity greatly." General Avery, though visibly surprised by the direct communication, maintained his composure. "Captain Marrow, while I am relieved to see you well, you must understand our position. We've prepared for all scenarios, including your immediate extraction." John continued, "I understand, General, but I urge patience. We're on the verge of something groundbreaking. A military intervention now could jeopardize future relations between our species. Back on the Zytherian ship, Zyla watched anxiously as the Earth crew deliberated. She then spoke, her voice broadcasted to the Earth ship. General Avery, I am Zyla, a scientist of Zytheria. We seek peaceful coexistence and are willing to share our knowledge and resources. We invite you to meet with our council to discuss this further. After a tense pause, General Avery responded, We will consider your offer. However, our primary objective remains the safety and return of Captain Marrow. We will prepare for a diplomatic meeting, but our rescue team will remain on standby. The arrangements were quickly made, and a small delegation from Earth, including General Avery, prepared to board the Zytherian ship. John greeted them at the docking bay, serving as both a mediator and guide. As the Earth delegates followed John into the Harmony Room where the meeting was to take place, they were visibly impressed by the alien technology and the serene environment. The Zytherian Council, led by Zyla, welcomed them with a formal yet warm greeting. We appreciate your willingness to engage in dialogue, Zyla began, her voice calm and reassuring. We understand your concerns and are prepared to address them to build trust between our peoples. General Avery, observing the sincere efforts of the Zytherians and the genuine enthusiasm of John, softened his stance. Thank you, Zyla. Let's proceed with the discussions. Captain Marrow speaks highly of your intentions, and we are prepared to listen. The meeting unfolded with John and Zyla presenting their findings and proposing areas for collaboration, such as advanced medical technology and space exploration techniques. The Earth delegates listened intently, their initial suspicion gradually giving way to curiosity and interest. As the discussions concluded, both sides expressed a cautious optimism. An agreement was drafted for ongoing communication and further meetings, with promises of transparency and goodwill. As the Earth delegation prepared to leave, General Avery pulled John aside. You've handled yourself well, Captain. We'll debrief back on Earth, but it looks like you may have opened up a valuable channel for us. John nodded, feeling a mix of relief and accomplishment. Thank you, General. I believe we're on the right path. With the departure of the Earth ship, John and Zyla exchanged looks of relief and hope. The standoff had ended not with conflict, but with the promise of a new alliance, one that could herald a new era of interstellar cooperation. In the wake of the successful diplomatic meeting aboard the Zytherian vessel, relations between Earth and Zytheria flourished. Both sides established a preliminary framework for cooperation, centered around cultural exchange, scientific collaboration, and mutual understanding. John, having played a pivotal role in these negotiations, chose to stay on the Zytherian ship as Earth's ambassador, bridging the two worlds. Zyla and John now stood in the Harmony Room, which had become a symbol of their newfound alliance. Around them, human and Zytherian scientists worked together, exchanging knowledge and techniques. John, your decision to remain here has been invaluable, Zyla said, observing the bustling activity around them. Your insights into human culture and biology have opened new avenues for us in medical and emotional research. John smiled, watching a young Zytherian researcher interacting with a group from Earth. And I've learned so much from you all, too. It feels like we're just scratching the surface of what we can achieve together. As they walked through the newly established Joint Research Center, they discussed upcoming projects. We're particularly excited about the environmental control technology you've shown us, John mentioned, referring to a system that could potentially reverse the effects of climate change on Earth. Zyla nodded. And we are equally intrigued by your art and literature. It's inspiring a renaissance of sorts among our people. We're exploring emotions that we had suppressed for generations. The changes weren't just technological or scientific. Cultural shifts on both sides were evident. Earth artists visited Zytheria to conduct workshops, while Zytherian philosophers traveled to Earth to learn about diverse ethical systems and governance. This cross-pollination enriched both cultures, leading to a deeper, more profound connection. Their conversation was interrupted by an incoming communication from Earth. General Avery appeared on the screen, his demeanor much warmer than before. Ambassador Marrow, we're about to hold the first interstellar cultural festival here on Earth. We'd be honored if a delegation from Zytheria could join us. John exchanged a pleased look with Zyla. We'd be delighted to participate, General. It's a testament to how far we've come. After the call, Zyla turned to John. This festival, perhaps it's the perfect occasion to introduce our new art forms inspired by human emotion. That sounds like a brilliant idea, John agreed, his mind already racing with the possibilities. It'll show everyone on Earth how much we've grown together. Plans for the festival proceeded rapidly, with artists, scientists, and diplomats from both worlds collaborating to make it a landmark event. As the day approached, excitement built on both planets. The festival was a vibrant affair, held in one of Earth's major cities. Zytherian and human performances captivated audiences, showcasing music, dance, and art that blended elements from both cultures. John and Zyla, watching from the sidelines, felt a profound sense of achievement. As the festival drew to a close, John reflected on the journey. From a chance encounter to this, Zyla, it's more than I could have hoped for. Zyla looked at the happy faces around them, feeling emotions that were once foreign to her people. John, we've not only discovered each other's worlds, but rediscovered our own. It's a new horizon for us all. The festival ended with a declaration of ongoing partnership and friendship, endorsed by leaders from Earth and Zytheria. John and Zyla, standing together, looked out at the crowd, their hearts full of hope for a future built on the foundations they had laid, a future promising peace and prosperity for both their worlds.